What's going on, guys? It's Austin. I Wow, what a terrible finish to the week. What a terrible Christmas Eve, and this week has just been such a struggle. I just came back from a $4,800 drawdown in my day trading account, career, whatever you want to call it, and now today. I am back in a over $3,000 hole or $3,000 drawdown with I had about a $1,400 loss 2 days ago. Bounced back a little bit yesterday with about $500 in the green, and now today, just oh my goodness, um, adding another $2,100 in the loss column on Baba. This isn't a video I will really enjoy making, but it's something that I feel like I have to do in the interest of transparency and honesty, and yeah, just a terrible week. December, if you've kept up with my videos, you'd know December has been a really has been a good month for me up until this week, which this week I've just given back a lot of my profits in December, and that sucks. I will be back at it Monday, but after today, it's really, I'm glad that now Friday there's no trading tomorrow, and then I have the weekend to kind of just mull this over and really think about what the hell I am doing, because I believe I'm good at trading. I've certainly had some big losses, but it's days like these where I definitely question, parts of my strategy that need to be that need to be reformed, to say the least. So let's go over the trades here on Baba. Obviously, I did not trade this well, but well, let's just go through the trades. So, right off the bat, when I'm looking at this pre-market, obviously, Baba, terrible news on this with the Chinese government coming in, and they're going to do some sort of investigation. The news is here. Antitrust probe. So, zeroes in on vendor claims Alibaba pressure. So, but this is obviously a bad catalyst for Alibaba, and but I mean, look at this. It's already gapping down from a close of 256 yesterday, and at the open, it's at around 227. So, my immediate, there's two options here, right? You've got the gap and go, or you've got the close the gap, right? And I think the obvious and the bias that takes press, or how should I say this? It's really a question of which one is going to happen, right? Which one do you think is more likely? And I think more often than not, it's better to expect a close the gap move, or if it may not be a close the gap, but it may be a an attempt to close the gap, and you're going to get some sort of momentum upside. That was my understanding of it, but now I think that may not be such a fair assumption. I think it's more okay. My computer fan is going crazy right now, so you're probably hearing that. Hopefully this cools. This stops. I'm recording this. I'm not live streaming this because I thought maybe the computer would tolerate that a little bit better, but whatever. All right, so right off the bat here, I actually went long. I watched this first candle play out, and it set a high somewhere around here. Let's see what my first entry was. 228.18. Oh wow, terrible slippage here on a 300 share order. Terrible slippage, almost a full dollar. My last fill here is 228.95. So 228.95 is right about here. So I was in, and then I was actually in the green, a full dollar on 300 shares, over a full dollar on 300 shares, and I didn't didn't take my profit. So I saw this thing was moving in my favor, and I liked that, and I thought we had a good chance of continuing higher to, make some sort of move in the direction of closing the gap. Maybe not necessarily closing the gap, but if I got, $3 or $4 or $5, well, 4 or 5 is a lot, but maybe $2 or $3 out of this move, I would have definitely taken my profits, and I might have been done trading for the day after that. But no, I mean, obviously it flushes down, and let's see where I cut this position. 220, well, basically 225, below 225. On the break of 225, I got out. 225 is right here, so 644. Yeah, I cut this at 643. Okay, so I cut this right here at 643. A couple minutes later, it pops back up. What do? I'm back long again. 500 shares, 225.73. I'm long. 225.73, that's right here. Pops back up, and I'm long 500 shares this time because I really think that with some momentum, this can make a push to the upside. I'm looking for that low to be put in, and then a push back up. Now 3 big, strong green bars. Okay, this is moving in my favor. I feel good about this. Also, if I can show you guys this as well. If I take the pre-market I was watching this without the pre-market data in here, so I was watching it like this, and with these 3 green bars, boom, we're up over VWAP. And I didn't consider that, maybe I should be watching this with the pre-market data. Different traders have different preferences. Lately, I've been, taking away the pre-market data, but here, without it, we're up over VWAP. And these indicators, right, they change based off of what data is given to them. And if you take away the pre-market data, then they move. So that's basically the simple reason that they're different here. And as we push up here, 3 big bars, no wicks here. This is looking really strong. So I was feeling good. I was up, I think, I don't know, over $500, maybe $600 on the trade from my 225.75 entry. Up here at 227 with 500 shares. Yeah, that's over $500 of profit, over $1 a share on 500 shares, and it was just looking really, really strong. And then we get this flush down, and I'm thinking, well, okay, let's give it a chance. I mean, it just looked really strong to come up through VWAP, but no, we break lower. And, really the story of this entire move lower was me trying to bottom pick this super weak stock. And as we broke below the low here, we made another past the VWAP here, so I was feeling good again. And then, no, as we broke lower, I stopped out and took a loss. And at that point in time, I was probably already down on this stock. Well, not $2,000, but maybe close. I was definitely down over 1,000 after those 2 trades, 2 or 3 trades in here. I don't even know. Then we broke lower, and yeah, this is again and again just me trying to bottom pick this stock and try to carry it higher, because I know that when these do retrace and they do move higher, they move up. They can move up sharply and for long periods of time. And my trading strategy is very heavily based off of trying to ride the move that's about to happen, not the move that's in the process of happening. Because if you get in on a move that's in the process of happening or just ending, then you're going to get squeezed out terribly in the move that happens next. So if you jump in at the end of a sharp move lower, and then it comes higher, it can be very difficult for you to stop out, and it can be very you can have a big loss, obviously. But I mean, the flip side of this mentality is represented perfectly right here in this terrible loss, in that I kept trying to get in for the move that's about to happen, but it wasn't about to happen. It needed more time, and I had a terrible understanding of where the bottom was on this, and I think I just tried too many times, and I tried with too many shares, because I really wanted to get in at the bottom. Obviously, it's the ideal. You want to get in at the bottom with a ton of shares and carry it up. And I mean, this did end up happening. That's the beauty of it. This ends up retracing from a low at 211 to a high here before the close. And this was a shortened day, so who knows what else could have happened. But look at this, 224. That's a $13 move to the upside, you know? And so you're probably wondering, why am I down on this stock? You were waiting for this move up for so long. Surely, you know, it came eventually. Weren't you ready for it? Well, you know, so the tail from here to here, the tail is in the story, is that I kept trying to bottom pick it, and I kept getting, you know, stopped out. And I at this candle, I got stopped out on a break lower here. You best bet I was long in here looking for a bounce. And I realized too, oh man, this looks like it's bear flagging. I think I actually stopped out early on this because this one I saw coming, this bear flag and continuation lower. I think I got out a little bit ahead of this move. But anyway, the losses just kept racking up. It seemed like every trade I took with large share, and I just kept taking losses on it. And the one thing I'm proud of is that at least on this move lower, it wasn't like I was holding 500 shares for the entire move lower, just waiting for an eventual bounce. I was watching it closely and looking for signs of a squeeze back up. So like here, for example, we have this wick to the downside, and you know, this is a very bullish hammer candle. So I mean, there's signs that, you know, there's strength being gathered, but overall, the catalyst in the news and the selling just persevered, and this ended up just being a bear flag and continuing lower. Much of this move here, I did not. Once I saw this break and the bear flag, realized I was not long at any point in here. My next long, I actually think I took a long on the low of this candle, or some. I think it might have been this candle. What's that? 812. Did I take a long at 812? Yeah, look, 812, 813. I added 50 shares. So I actually went long 550 shares. I maxed out my buying power as we came lower here. I think those last 50 shares. So I got in 500 at 213.79 and then 212.62. So when it went that dollar lower, 212.62, I got in for another 50 shares right here. It actually made a low over here, so I jumped the gun just a little bit, and that ended up kind of mattering. If I had gotten in 550 shares at anywhere in the 211s, I'm obviously 213 isn't bad considering this run up that's to come, but 211 obviously would have been really ideal. And this, if I had not been in the position already, I'm confident that if I saw this, I would have been able to hit the bid and get close to the bottom wick. You're probably like, hell no, there's no way you would have been able to bottom pick that. Like, why would you have entered there? It just broke lower, like blah, 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 blah. You just saw this strength come in, and now you get that capitulation lower. I'm pretty sure I would have been able to bottom pick this. I've seen moves like this happen before. In fact, if you go to my channel, go to my recent video before this one, look at that Airbnb trade. This is very similar. It's like the low looks like it's been put in, and then it's like half candle lower, and then you get that squeeze back up. That is actually a pretty sound setup, and it's already so extended. And in at 211, really, buying in at 211 I'm not sure. You wouldn't get much scrutiny from me. I mean, look at this darn move. There's no pullback. It's so extended. So again, me all along the way, it's just about me thinking, look how extended this is. Look how extended this is. Look, it can't continue like this. It can't continue like this. Well, it did continue like this, but you know, when you're this extended, it's it will end eventually. Unless Baba's going under and there are no buyers, and the bid side just completely drops out. That's obviously not what happened, but unless the company's going kaputs, eventually you will get a bounce. That's what I was looking for, and it just came way later than I expected, while I was already in a hole. So okay, at this low, I'm holding 550 shares at like $2. Let's see, I got in at 213.60 average or so. So at 211.20, I'm probably down on this stock. I would say I think I was down about $4,300 right here at the low. So when you think of it like that, I basically was able to cut that loss in half. But let me tell you the rest of this trading story. So okay, we're starting to get this bounce. 2 nice wicks down here. And this is where I think, okay, this is a make or break. It's got to bounce here. If we continue lower now, that's just a sign to me that this stock is just disregarding every, every bullishly, these bullish setups are just being completely disregarded. Obviously, it did continue higher here, but any lower, and I would have, oh man, I would have been so upset, and I don't even know what. I just don't even know what I would have done. I would have had to cut the position, but it's just, All right, so let's keep going here. I'm long 550 shares. We're finally starting to squeeze back up. Here, I'm in the money. It's coming up. I'm giving all this room. I'm still holding. Oh, well, the market closed at 1 p.m. Eastern, so I don't know why. I'm not sure what that's about. But anyway, all right, so. Squeezing up here in the money. Let's see where I got out of my shares here. So as you can see, I took even more trades on it. So 213, got out 50 shares at 216, 216.42, 218 almost, 219, and then that was 200 shares. So I'm still holding 350 shares. And I stopped out of those at 215.43. So still above my entry. So I still made money on these 300 shares. But man, if I had gotten out at, 219.69 and just cut the rest of it, I'll tell you, I would have been down less than $1,000 on this stock. That's how powerful these rips back to the upside are. When I'm finally getting that bounce that I'm looking for. Obviously, I took a ton of share size, 550 shares, maxing out my buying power pretty much. And so, obviously, when you get, a move from 213 to 218, that's $5 per share times 550, that's what, 2,500, over $2,500, so yeah, it was great. I mean, at this low, I'm down 4,300, right? But you have to figure that when I come up to break even, because I was down on the day. My closed P&L was probably, it's just too tough to say. I'm not really sure. But I can tell you, at this high right here, I was down 950 on this stock, which is bad, but it's not $4,300 bad. But I was looking for more. I was looking for this to get to VWAP at least. And if it got to VWAP, I was looking for a squeeze through VWAP, and then I probably would have just cut the whole thing. That's what I was looking for, was a push back up to 220. But we didn't get there. And we came crashing back down, and I said, okay, well, maybe it needs more time to form a bullish setup, and I'm going to wait a little bit. So it comes down. I'm still holding 350 shares here. And it's curling back up. I'm like, okay, here we go. And then we break lower, and I stop out on this candle as we break lower. You saw on the order sheet 215.43 or whatever it was. So I stopped out here. Boom, buyers step up. Candle is a bullish bottoming tail candle. I'm like, dang it, are you kidding me? And of course, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, the reason I didn't cut it here is because I was really honestly thinking a move like this could happen. Really, I was thinking there is more upside here. I mean, is it really, likely that buyers are going to let this come all the way down to the lows and possibly make a new low from here? I mean, let's zoom out a little bit. Look at the 5-minute chart. It's more likely that the buyers are going to step up here in the afternoon and carry this thing higher than it is that we're going to come all the way back down to the lows here. So I was really honestly expecting and looking for a move like what eventually happened. But I had to draw the line in the sand. I had to stop out somewhere. And when we crashed below this low that we put in, when it looked like we were curling back up, and when we broke below that level, and here, this bottom wick here, I got out. And for a few minutes I watched it and put in these tails, and I didn't get back in because I said, no, I'm not getting back in. And I had about, I think, $2,100. I stopped out, and right here I was down $2,100. or 2,000 or 2,100 on it at that point. So not 4,000, but not still, I would rather have the 950 loss than 2,000. But anyway, look at this. Then we start coming back up, and I'm like, well, these candles look really kind of, I don't know, they look kind of scrawny, and they're not too convincing. But I was aware, and it is a setup you see all the time, is small green candles turn into big green candles, and look at the volume that came in, and obviously you can see in front of you right now exactly what happened. Huge squeeze to the upside. We get to 220, we get to 222, we get to 224. Give me a break. I mean, seriously, if I held everything, obviously if I held the 550 shares, it's fun to play the what if game, but it only gets you so far. If I held the 550 shares to the top, I'd have a profit on this stock of, I don't even want to calculate it. It's not worth it because it's a what if, and it didn't happen. But, I'm just kicking myself because, it's just so funny. Sometimes I feel like on these breaks lower, whatever, you get me. If you don't stop out, this momentum can just carry you lower, and that's what happens in the morning, right? If you don't stop out on this break to the downside, I mean, it's just downside from here. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, just carry this thing all the way lower, right? But then here, if you don't stop out, you get rewarded, it gets bought back up, and, you'd be a participant in this move back up. So it's like, there's a extent to which it's just like, I mean, it's not guessing, it's not luck, but it is certainly like, really, are you kidding me? I get stopped out on this tail down, and then, squeezed to the upside. And with 350 shares, if I hadn't stopped out, the point is, if I hadn't stopped out on this bottom wick, where's my stop? It gets bought back up, my stop becomes the low of this candle. Well, we never breached the low of that candle. What's the low of this candle? 215.02? The low of this candle, okay, 215.05, whatever, right? But your stop is below 215, so you don't get stopped out. Boom, you get carried up, and boom, you're in the green. Yeah, and that's just it. I mean, so then from there, 2,100 in the red, obviously, and then I actually, in here, I had some. I think I shorted it here. I scalped it here. I scalped it somewhere else. I don't know. I took several scalp trade, or I think about 3 or 4 scalp trades on this after I saw this move up and the volume came back in. I was bummed that I missed this move. And but with these large candles, there's scalping opportunities. So I tried scalping it, and I took the loss from 2,100 to only 1,600 or 1,700. I actually made back $400 or $500 scalping it. And then I bought a dip, and it went lower, and I lost all that I'd made scalping it, and it put me right back to where I was when I stopped out here. And that's where I stopped on the day. I said, that's it. I'm done. Down 2,100 is where I'll sit. I don't want to go back to down 3,000, 4,000. Down 2,000 is really bad. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. It's not. Right now it feels like it is, but it's not. And I have the back of mind understanding that right now I'm in a drawdown already of $1,000. So when I import this data, it's going to go to $3,000 drawdown. So I'll be down 3,000. It's going to come to right here from my all-time highs in my account. And obviously my cumulative P&L will take a $3,000 hit. So, I mean, that's really losing a fifth of, $2,000. Not 3,000. So that's taking a large hit of my P&L day trading. But I will make it back. I will. I'm confident that I will. I've had a $3,000 drawdown here. I made it back in a few days, or let's see, 10, 12, 10, 15. I made it back in 3 days. So I'm not saying I'll make this back in 3 days, but I am saying it's not the end of the world. It's just a bummer because you know what? Why in the world did I not go short on this break lower? Why? I mean, I know the answer is because I was scared. How pissed would I have been if I tried it long here, failed, tried it long here, stopped out again, and then tried it short and it squeezed against me? I would have broken a window. Seriously, I would have broken a window. And that's just something I was not going to accept. I was going to try the long on this all day because I'm not going to be the sucker that buys at the freaking bottom. Well, how many suckers bought at the bottom? Not many. Not many. Well, I say buy at the bottom. I really mean sell at the bottom, right? Open your sell position. Go short. I wasn't going to be the sucker that went short at the bottom is what I mean. And how many people went short at the bottom? Probably not very many. I mean, obviously there is a seller for every low that you put in, but you know, so somebody sold at 211. But the point is, you really can't go wrong shorting anywhere in the first 2 hours of the day, almost 2 hours of the day. You know. So it's funny to think like when you're trading, you know, oh, I don't want to short here because it's going to squeeze against me. But it's like, dude, you have no idea how much lower we're about to go. And obviously, I could have gone short here on the break of this bear flag and the realization of this bear flag, but I was too busy stopping out of the long position that I had. Actually, did I stop out of a position here at 8:01? Sorry, this is going long now. I'm gonna stop this. No, I didn't. I didn't even have a position on this break lower. Thank God. Look at how big this candle is. Dropped from 218.15 to 216.35. My goodness. Okay, well, terrible trading day, but I think I'm getting a little bit better at handling big losses and making big losses not so big. Again, I was down 4,300 here, and at the end of the day, I cut in half my low. But I would have liked if I could have just scraped a little bit more. Obviously, I could have cut my position here and went flat and been down $950 on this. That would have been awesome. Or I could have just held the darn thing for another half hour and been in the green. I did neither of those things. I cut it out at the low, and I mean, what are you gonna do? It's like, that's how trading goes sometimes, and it cost me, you know, thousands, but I'll be back. And I want my revenge, not in the form of revenge trading. I want a more healthy type of revenge than that. So I'll be back at it Monday and looking to fight back against this darn market. And anyway, all right. So I hope you guys have a good holiday weekend and a good Christmas, and happy Christmas Eve it is today. And obviously I just gave myself a terrible Christmas present. I'm not sure I deserve it, but maybe I do. I traded this horribly. I shouldn't have even traded today, but I knew about BABA yesterday afternoon, and I knew it was going to be great to trade. It's going to have lots of volume, and I was like, man, I want to be a part of it. And I was a part of it. It just sucked. And, you know, whatever. That's just it. So I hope this was, you know, helpful for you guys. I bet it was. This is, you know, I think the red days, you probably learn more from the red days than the green days. The green days are helpful too, but these red days, I mean, they're massive. And right now it's just about, the last few days I've been trying to hit home runs, and I've failed. And I think when I came back to all-time highs in my account last week, you know, when I eliminated that $4,000 drawdown that I was in here, I finally came back to all-time highs. And I think I was like, okay, well now, you know, I've scraped my way back to all-time highs. I'm ready to, you know, boom into all-time highs and, you know, make a lot of money or whatever. I don't know. That wasn't really what I was thinking, but whatever. All right, that's it from me, guys. Happy holidays, and I'll be back at it on Monday. I probably won't have any video recaps. I'm going on vacation next week, so video recaps might not happen, but I'll keep you guys updated in the Discord server, and you can join that. The link is in the description, and if you wouldn't mind hitting a like on this video if it was helpful to you, I Come on, I bet it was. Sorry that this has been like a 30-minute video. I didn't know it was that long. But all right, guys, that's it from me.